All right, 3, 2, 1. As we head into the heart of hurricane season, I thought it would be fun to delve a bit into the name game, the conventions underlying the naming of tropical systems. Atlantic tropical cyclones get named when they reach tropical storm strength, with sustained winds of at least 39 miles per hour. This practice started in 1950 using the military phonetic alphabet, names such as Abel, Baker, and Charlie. Women's names were first used in 1953, with the first storm beginning with an A, the second a B, and so on. In 1979, men's names were alternated with the women's, and 6 standard lists were adopted, each with 21 names. Q, U, X, Y, and Z weren't used. If more than 21 storms form in a season, the Greek alphabet is then used, alpha, beta, gamma, and so on. That happened in the hyperactive 2005 season when 27 storms formed. The 6 lists are rotated, so for example, the 1979 list was also used in 1985, 91, 97, 03, and 09, and will be used again in 2015. But if a storm is so deadly or costly that reusing its name would be confusing or insensitive, the name is retired and a new name replaces it. Since 1953, 75 names have been retired in this way. The most in any one year was 5 in 2005. The letter with the most retired names is C, with 9. Camille and Charlie are 2 of the more notable. The letters F and I each have 8 names retired. Examples include Floyd in 1999 and Igor last year. Now you might think that A and B would be on this list since those letters get used every year, but it's typically early in the season when storms tend to be weaker and thus are less likely to be destructive. To show how a name list changes over time, let's look at this year's list, which was last used in 2005 when Dennis, Katrina, Rita, Stan, and Wilma were on it. But those were retired after that infamous season. If we go back one more cycle to 1999, Floyd and Lenny were on the list, but they were retired after that season. No names were retired after the previous years when this list was used, so this is what it looked like back in 1981 when it was first used. Now obviously some names have been used multiple times, particularly those early in the alphabet. For example, we had Tropical Storm Arlene back in June, but the name Arlene had previously been used 9 other times, 4 of those before the standard lists were adopted, making Arlene the most frequently used Atlantic storm name. There are different name lists for tropical systems in other parts of the world. A rotation of 6 lists is also used in the eastern North Pacific Ocean, just to the west of Central America, while in the western North Pacific Ocean, where hurricanes are called typhoons, so many storms form that names are just used sequentially and not in alphabetical order. Plus, most are not male or female names, but rather Asian foods, animals, trees, or flowers. Fred will size up the potential for activity in the tropical Atlantic as part of his extended forecast next.